Time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk Thursday night NFL, the most anticipated Thursday night NFL matchup of the season so far. We have the Arizona Cardinals at home against the Green Bay Packers. Looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen right now, Arizona, let's call it -6, total sitting at 51. Now, this line yesterday was Arizona -3, bet up to -3.5. Big move, obviously. The question we have to ask ourselves today is whether the move was warranted. Davante Adams was placed on the COVID-19 list on Monday, as was defensive coordinator Joe Barry. So the guy who has been the focal point of their offense and their defensive coordinator both going on the COVID list yesterday on a short week. And of course, they already had wide receiver Malik Taylor on the COVID list as well. You talk about Davante Adams. You know, he's been 52 catches, 744 yards, and the Packers offense has gone through him all year. A defense that hasn't necessarily played that great until last week. They finally got some red zone stops. But when you talk about a defense coordinator and the play caller, they're big losses, no question. And Green Bay has to deal with the NFL's enhanced mitigation protocols, meaning that all the coaches, players, and staff, including those who are vaccinated, are required to wear masks at all times in the facility. It's a pain for Cleveland. And of course, they held their game planning meetings on Monday. A lot of them virtually. Matt LaFleur. I think anytime you have any cases, you're a little bit concerned about that. And they are. So the knee-jerk reaction is obviously look at Arizona. Big issues for Green Bay. But we don't knee-jerk here. We take a look at some details. Under Matt LaFleur, in games they played without Davante Adams, Packers are 6-0 straight up. 4-0 in 2019 and 2-0 last year. He had a toe injury and a hamstring injury. So they've won every single game. Oh, by the way, they may well get Marquez Valdes-Scantling back this week. He's missed the last 4 games with a hamstring injury. There's optimism that the team's best downfield threat is going to play. All right, I got quotes, absolutely there's hope for that. I know he was out there running today. This is from yesterday. All right, now Barry's out calling the plays. All right, so the plan is to have a bunch of guys work together. The defensive backs coach, defensive passing coordinator Jerry Gray, who was a defense coordinator for the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans. All right. In fact, this is the guy who interviewed for the DC job before it went to Barry in January. And it's not like Barry's been there for 20 years. He got there in January. LaFleur, quote, certainly feel confident with a guy like Jerry Gray, who's called it before and has a top 5 defense in this league. So we definitely have people that we feel are capable of getting the job done. Meanwhile, on the other side of the equation, the big news has come from Green Bay. But Arizona doesn't have Rodney Hudson at center, and it showed last week for sure. If you watch the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And of course, you look at the stats, and these stats for Arizona are great. Oh my God, they have the 7th ranked offense on 400 yards a game, and they average 4th in points per game. Not without Rodney Hudson anchoring the offensive line, they don't. And if you watched the game last Sunday, you know all the hits Kyler Murray took. He took a lot more hits than he usually does, in part because the offensive line wasn't as good. He's on a short week, too. So the market's knee-jerk reacting to Green Bay. I think there's value with Green Bay at the current number. Packers +6 or pass for this better. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Merrill.